got it. He's got to send a Louisiana Divebomb. He's got a Louisiana Divebomb.
Come on, Reddick, you got this.
Pump it. Here's the pump and run. Go. Louisiana Divebomb.
Welcome back to another episode of the Louisiana Divebomb podcast, everyone. This is episode 46, recapping everything that happened at the Paperclip over in Virginia. Martinsville Speedway had some interesting things go on during the weekend. Now, usually I'll recap it from the first race of the weekend, which would usually be trucks. Sometimes it would be Xfinity, and then we'll work our way through from the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I got to start off with this because it's been such a hot take, and it really was the highlight of the weekend so far. And that was the finish to the Xfinity Series race, where it was just absolute calamity. And I mean, usually we get that sort of thing in the lower series, but like in the truck series. Now, we didn't really get that much from the truck side of things. I mean, we got some here and there, but it wasn't near as controversial as it was in the Xfinity Series. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right to that. There were 14 yellows in that race. 14. So 250 lap race. 104 laps ran under yellow. Now, you got to keep in mind that there's 2 cautions for the stage break, so obviously there's that. But it's just, it's so absurd. Just, I'm looking through this. Between the first 2 stages, and this is including the stage caution, we had 4 yellows between stage 1 and stage 2. After that, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yellows in the third stage. And we had to go to overtime because of one of them. So, there's just a lot of chaotic racing, beating and banging, guys just using and abusing people. I mean, Austin Hill he accordion affected a crash because he hit someone. He was the 4th car in line. He hit, I forget who it was, but he hit a 3rd car in line that hit another car in line that hit another car in line that sent a driver spinning and then sent another driver spinning. Like, that wreck, that was just so ridiculous. Guys were just throwing it in the corner and just sending it in too deep and causing wrecks because of it. I mean, there were so many incidents that happened in the Xfinity race, but the one thing that I want to talk about is the finish. That's the most controversial part. So leading up to that, like I mentioned, we just kept having yellow after yellow after yellow. So overtime, saw that Taylor Gray, who got up to the lead, he was dominating towards the later ends of the race. Sammy Smith was up there as well. Noticed a few times that Taylor Gray would choose inside, so was Sammy Smith. And I keep thinking, okay, he's setting up to move him because Taylor Gray would just go through 1 and 2 on the opening lap of a restart. He'll pull away fine. Over the course of the race, I'm thinking, okay, it's getting down to crunch time, Sammy Smith. You're not really doing anything. If you want to win, you got to move him, and move him is what he did. So I think it was the second to last restart. He did that. He moved Taylor Gray going in the 1 and 2. He got that. And then the yellow came out. So he was the leader, and now, of course, Taylor Gray, second in line. He'll choose the bottom. He does it going into turn 1 on Sammy Smith. It's not as egregious as what Sammy Smith did first off, so he gets the lead. They go to the white flag lap, and then this is where all hell breaks loose. So Sammy Smith, he's on the bumper. Actually, he's trying to battle his teammate, Justin Allgaier. So then they get single file heading down the backstretch into turn 3, where I wasn't expecting it. I thought he was too far back to do anything about it, but it's the name of the podcast. He sent a Louisiana Divebomb in on Taylor Gray and absolutely dumped him. Like, he junked the front of his car. Taylor Gray went spinning. Allgaier's right behind, and he's backing up trying to go through 3 and 4 properly to have a shot at possibly winning. And then he gets booted by Austin Hill, and then Austin Hill scoots by on the bottom, bringing Sheldon Creed with him. And Austin Hill wound up winning the race. Sheldon Creed got his 14th second place finish again. He can't seem to find a way to win. And then we just had all hell break loose coming to the finish line. Guys are just crashing left and right. It was a junkyard. So the controversial part is Sammy Smith's move going into turn 3 on the last lap. He just flat out dumped him. Bob Hockra said that they were talking about possibly penalizing Sammy Smith for the way that he did the move on Taylor Gray. Kind of similar to what Austin Dillon did back at Richmond last year, where he sent it in on Denny Hamlin, and then it was Joey Logano, and then he dumped Denny Hamlin coming to the finish. Dillon ended up winning that race. He got penalized. That win didn't count for playoff eligibility. But in this case for Sammy Smith, he didn't benefit from that at all. He didn't win the race. He finished 10th from that. And then Taylor Gray, he went from possibly getting the first career win for him in any of the NASCAR series. He didn't get any truck wins. He was close to winning last year in the Truck Series race, but he got moved by Christian Eckes, and so be it. That's the way it goes in Martinsville. But he wound up from possibly getting his first career win to finishing all the way down in 29th. A very disappointing day for the Joe Gibbs team. That finish doesn't define them, though. They've been one of the more consistent teams up front throughout the season, and I've been noticing that. So yeah, just keep in mind with Taylor Gray throughout the rest of the season. But he got screwed over in that one, so will NASCAR do something about it? I'm not sure. There might be a monetary fine, maybe a little point penalty, but I can't see them doing anything too egregious because it wasn't really, in my opinion, the same level as Austin Dillon. Like I mentioned, he dumped 2 people on the last lap and won. Sammy Smith dumped 1 guy, didn't even win, and he wrecked himself. Now, you can make the argument that his actions caused the damage of millions of dollars for other teams, which that 100%. I'm going to go back and look at that finish because I'm still just trying to figure this out, because how on earth did Austin Hill win that race? You're telling me we sat through all that BS for 3 hours just to watch an Austin Hill win? I'm still baffled trying to figure that out. I mean, he was third on the last, or no, not third, sorry. He was 6th on the white flag lap. How he got the win, I don't know. But I'm looking through it again, and Sammy Smith, he didn't get hit from behind either. I'm watching the move again. He didn't get hit from behind by Brandon Jones or Allgaier. He just sent it in, dumped him. The 7, he gets hit from behind by the 21 of Austin Hill into Sammy Smith. So Smith's trying to corral it. They just keep beating and banging. Brandon Jones just does Brandon Jones things, and poor Jeb Burton, Daniel Dye, others just caught up in this carnage that they didn't want to be a part of. I mean, that was still some of the craziest. That was the craziest thing I've seen this season for the Xfinity Series, if I'm being honest. The only time I can recall someone going from 6th to 1st in the last couple of laps of winning was Chase Elliott. That was back at Darlington. I think that was his second Xfinity win. He went from 6th to 1st, but he did it legit. He had a great restart and all, had the last lap pass. It was awesome. I didn't care for him up until that point, but then he did that. I'm thinking, wow, okay, all right, cool, because he took a win away from Junior at Texas, so I wasn't too thrilled about that. But that's the only other time I can recall that. But the way Austin Hill won, everyone they just wrecked each other and were just too aggressive. So make of that what you will. I really don't think that Sammy Smith's going to get penalized for that, though. And now we're going to talk about the integrity of the Xfinity Series, because it's getting ridiculous to where they're wrecking the most compared to trucks. And trucks they've had that reputation for a long time. They're actually starting to they're cleaning it up in the Truck Series. The Xfinity Series, not so much. I mean, it's still the better series out of Cup and Truck, but this past weekend, it was just a disappointment. I mean, I can't recall a race where I was just so agitated from seeing yellows and these races end in such BS fashion to where we need an overtime finish and we need guys to go 4 wide, 5 wide and crash each other. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is because it's the younger guys now. Some of them are around my age or younger. They grew up watching the old Cup races in which guys raced cleanly for the most part to the finish. And my guess is that those same drivers watching it, they're like, well, if I was in that move, if I was in that position, I would have done this different. I would have made this move. I would try my best to win. And I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, but if you keep doing that, you're just going to show everyone that you have an aggressive side and that you can't race anyone fair and square. Like, Sammy Smith moved Taylor Gray moved Sammy Smith, and then in retaliation, Sammy Smith just dumped him. And I don't know. I hate Sammy Smith because of what he's done to the Sieg family. We all know that. He cost Ryan Sieg a win in Las Vegas. He cost Kyle Sieg a stage win at Homestead with help from Bonsignor. But, I mean, he kind of made a point with his post-race comment saying he would have done the same exact thing to me if I didn't do it. He's kind of got a point because Sammy Smith, it's been a while since he won. He's got the DEI 8 font. I'm pretty sure he wants to win for Dale Jr. about as bad as anyone. And I can, like I said, I don't like the guy, but I can kind of see the argument that he's making because if Taylor Gray was in that position, I'm pretty sure that Taylor Gray would have done the same thing. Taylor Gray hasn't won in the Truck Series. He got so close last year. The last time he was at the track at Martinsville, he got moved out of the way by Christian Eckes and lost the race. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably would have done that. Would the chances be low? Yeah, but I'd still say that he probably would have done it. It's his first career win. Maybe he wants to do it fair and square, and for Taylor Gray, I can see why he was upset because he's been screwed over time and time again, and he's trying to take the high road out. I mean, he's not... Well, they argued after the race in the infield care center section, but he's not publicly calling them out or anything. He's just saying that they had a disagreement and that, you know, it's racing, it's a long season. So, yeah, we'll end with that. I don't think NASCAR is going to penalize Sammy Smith. If they do, it might be something minor, not as aggressive as they did with Austin Hill. I don't think it'll be that much, but Austin Hill won the Xfinity race. Sorry, he led one lap. It was the last one. Sat through the Wreckfest at Martinsville just to see Austin Hill win. A lot of people were happy about that. Sarcasm. They were not. Sheldon Creed mentioned it. His 14th second place finish. That man he'll never win. I'm sorry. I'm starting to doubt everything. He's fast. Not fast enough to win. Justin Allgaier finished third out of that melee. Somehow he didn't go spinning. Driving through the carnage, though, was Brennan Poole. Brennan Poole finished fourth. Slowly but surely, he was making his way towards the front, like the top 15. He got inside the top 10. Then he got inside the top 5 in that stretch to the finish. He just edged out Sam Mayer, who finished in 5th. But Brennan Poole I'm not sure if his car was too clean, but I'm also just remembering this now. So Austin Hill won the Dash for Cash as well, and it's the top 4 for the Xfinity race that go into, I'm pretty sure it's the next week, which is Darlington. So it's Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Justin Allgaier, and Brennan Poole in the Dash for Cash. Brennan Poole could win extra $100,000. It's going to be difficult, though, at a track like Darlington and with those 3 cars. I mean, you got Haas Factory Team, RCR, JRM, and then it's Tommy Joe Martin's team. I think it's Alpha Prime Racing, yeah. So they've got a tough task ahead of them, but it's cool to see an underdog in the fight. Dean Thompson finished 6th, got through the carnage. Daniel Dye, he spun and crashed hard to a 7th place finish. Ryan Sieg, 8th. Chris Wright, I'm pretty sure that's his career best finish, P9. Yeah, when Chris Wright's inside the top 10, you know things are messed up. Sammy Smith finished 10th. Jeb Burton wrecked car and all. He started dead last, actually. He started 38th, and he almost had a top 10. If they didn't wreck, he probably would have had a top 10, but oh well. Retzlaff 12th, Almirola 13th. He kind of wasn't a factor, even though he was the favorite. Clements 14th, Garrett Smithley 15th. Patrick Staropoli. I think he was the doctor in the field. He finished 16th. Josh Williams, I think he's healthy again. He finished 17th. Carson Quaffle kind of got screwed. No, he did get screwed. He got screwed twice in that one. He got taken out by Austin Hill from the accordion effect that I was talking about, and then he got dumped again. So he got dumped twice. Finished 20th. Corey Day, 21st. He sucks. Brandon Jones, 22nd. How did he finish 22nd? He was inside that top 5, and I guess he wrecked that hard to where he just couldn't make it to the finish line. He nearly got beat out by Brad Perez. Harrison Burton had some interesting views on the race. His car was just completely tore up. The underbody panel that's connected to the front splitter was sticking up and in front of his car like a shield. So that was interesting. William Sawalich 27th. Yeah, Connor Zilic 28th. He had a bad finish. He had a good race. He won the first 2 stages. He led 100 laps. That was the most laps led. He was just caught up in some tomfoolery as well and couldn't climb himself from that hole. Taylor Gray 29th. He should have won the race. He led 87 laps, was there at the end, but got dumped. DNFs were Nick Sanchez, Maya Snyder, Christian Eckes, Kyle Sieg, Jesse Love, and Anthony Alfredo. So that was the highlight of the weekend, the Xfinity race, and the finish with that. Holy cow, we're 17 minutes into the podcast. That's crazy. I guess we'll talk trucks because Cup, there really wasn't much, but trucks, I do remember a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit from the truck race. Pretty cool to see a different, well, I was going to say different winner for the 5th time this season, but Corey Heim won. I keep forgetting Corey Heim. He won Daytona, but that was via DQ on Parker Kligerman. But we had another first-time winner this weekend. It was Daniel Hemric. Woo! Daniel Hemric got his first career truck win. He brought the backflip back from Carl Edwards for McAnally Hillman Racing. Him and Ankrum finished 1-2. Disappointing for Ankrum, though, because he was leading in the final few laps, and he didn't even make an effort, sadly. He didn't try to at least fight with Hemric. He didn't put up a fight. He just, great, now let him have it. You can have it. And, yeah, that was unfortunate there. But, I mean, it was kind of the same as the Xfinity race, although the finish wasn't too chaotic. We had 4 yellows between stage 1 and 2. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the final stage, which that's kind of expected, but we didn't go into overtime, so that was cool. 200 laps, 69 of them were run under yellow. Nice for those who like it. Yeah, the finishing order kind of got screwed up, and so is the finishing results on Racing Reference, because 4 of these names are blurred out. I know one of the names on here. We'll get to that in a minute, but mentioned it. The McAnally trucks 1-2. Hemric got the win, got the backflip. Ankrum second. So close, Tyler. Jake Garcia third. That might tie his career best. I'm not sure. Could be wrong on that. Chandler Smith fourth. Ben Rhodes fifth. Corey Heim. This is okay. Yeah, Corey Heim led 149 laps. Didn't get the win because he got dumped. And after he got dumped, he had to fight from the back to the front, in which he recovered for a nice P6, but wasn't the win that he should have deserved. Again, Corey Heim should have 4 wins on the season, but he's only got 2. So Chuck Field better count their days, because once these issues stop plaguing Corey Heim, he's winning everything. Andreas Perez, 7th. That might be a career best for him. Raja, 8th. Stuart Friesen, 9th. Lawless Allen recovered nicely for a 10th place finish. Interesting to note, he was in the Tricon truck, the number 1 for Tricon. Lane Riggs finished 11th. A good recovery, but he was inside the top 5 early, got spun out, and literally had to fight the entire race just to get up near the top 10. Ruggiero 12th, Majeski 13th. Byron was in this race. Did you know that? Yeah. Was he the favorite? Yeah. Did he win? No. 14th. Looking through, Spencer Boyd 17th. He was mixing it up there. Had some good runs. Jack Wood 19th. Yeah, that guy sucks. Did you know his teammate won? Yeah. Patrick Staropoli, the doctor, 20th. 22nd was Luke Baldwin. So I'll say this about Luke Baldwin. Other than Corey Heim in practice averages, he was the second fastest truck with those averages. Had a bad qualifying effort, just got too much on that lap. So he started back in 27th. Then he worked his way up right around the top 10, and then he got dumped. So, okay, no harm, no foul. Then he climbs his way through to get inside the top 10 again. He gets dumped by Andreas Perez, and that's the second time he got spun out. This time he got damage and just couldn't recover from that. 22nd place finish. If he didn't get dumped, he would have had a good shot at getting a top 5 finish for his first truck start. But Luke Baldwin, that is the son of Tommy Baldwin Jr., so I would like to see more of him. He had a really good race, in my opinion. Tony Baloney, otherwise known as Tony Breininger, finished 24th. It was ahead of Connor Mosack. Yeah. Did you also know that Mosack is teammates with Daniel Hemric and Tyler Ankrum? No? Now you do. So him and Jack Wood are dicking around in the back, doing nothing with their trucks. Caden Honeycutt, he was the one that dumped Corey Heim. Or actually, no, sorry. I got that completely wrong. He cut Corey Heim's tire down, then he got spun out. Yeah, and then Honeycutt got spun out himself. So that's why he finished in the back. Crafton finished in the back. Grant Enfinger was, his truck was tore to pieces. No clue who's in the 2. No clue who's in the 22. It doesn't show names on here. Corey Day finished 32nd. He sucks. Frankie Muniz, Norm Benning was in. Shout out Storm and Norman. And then the 67 truck finished last, which I have no clue who that is. Literally doesn't give me a name. Yeah. That's that. And then let's talk about Cup. Cup really wasn't much going on. It was the least chaotic race of the weekend, as expected. It's a Cup series. Lots of green flag runs towards the end. We had a couple early yellows. It was very interesting. Oh, am I on the right race? I am not. I'm at Homestead. I was about to say, Christopher Bell didn't spin out. Yeah, 30 laps in, we got a yellow for debris. That kind of shook things up. And then we had another little green flag run, and then a caution on the front stretch. I think it was Buescher that got turned around. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was Buescher because he came up off corner exit 4 into Carson Osavar. It's just so happened to be Carson Osavar. I can't speak. I need a water. Give me a minute. Ugh. I talk way too much. So, had a little sprint to the finish. Stage 1, old Joey Logano and Josh Berry stayed out to begin Stage 2, in which track position was very key. And then we had a stoppage. Some car stopped in turn 1. I couldn't remember who it was, but it was a car that stopped on the track. And then Josh Berry got screwed under yellow because his battery started to die. Him and also Cindric had those issues. So both Penske-affiliated cars They had battery issues go out. They had to replace a battery for the 2 and the 21. A little later on, they couldn't replace the battery on Cindric's car, so he was the only one to retire from the race, and that was with... Oh, excuse me. That was around 40 to go. So then we get our fair share of wrecks for stage 3. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In which Ty Gibbs was mad at Tyler Reddick for taking him out, which rightfully so. Nothing's gone Gibbs' way this season. He was running around 11th or 12th, and then he got dumped. A little later, Noah Gragson got flat out taken out by Chris Buescher. They collided with wheels again, and Buescher's car flew up in the air. Couldn't remember what the other two were. Oh, there was another one. It was Shane Van Gisbergen. So this was in the middle of pit stops for stage 3. Now, this was... Some guys were splitting it into thirds because the third stage was 200 laps. Right when those pit stops were happening, Shane Van Gisbergen pitted. He came back out, spun out, loose wheel, comes off the car. That shook everything up. And then, throughout the course of the race, we saw different leaders. It seemed like, maybe Josh Berry's going to get another win for the Wood Brothers, but then the yellow came out, kind of screwed him over. Then, looking through, Chase Elliott, he led some laps, yeah. Christopher Bell, he led a good chunk as well. But there was one car that stood out the most today, and that was none other than Virginia's own Denny Hamlin. In the progressive Toyota machine, he got this... he didn't get a stage win. Did he? No, he got stage 2. He won stage 2, and he won the final stage, which means that Denny Hamlin gets his first win of the 2025 season with Progressive on the car. Big news there because he had a lot of races that were unfilled, and those got filled up by Progressive. So, in their short tenure in the NASCAR, they are on a cup-winning team, and they're on a cup-winning car. So, good for Progressive, good for Denny. He led 274 laps of 400. Wow. That's a little concerning for the rest of the field because next week we go to Bristol. He won that race last year. He led a lot of laps. He's a good short track racer, so keep an eye on that. Christopher Bell, the pole sitter, he got up to second again in the late going. Couldn't really quite do anything. So he finished second. Bubba Wallace, fantastic run for him. Again, back-to-back weeks with top 5 finishes. He finishes third. Chase Elliott, he led 42 laps, but he finished 4th. Seemed like he was going to have a good shot to win today. Kyle Larson, 5th. That's about it. Not much for him. Ross Chastain had an up and down day. He started 17th, worked his way up to as high as, I believe, 3rd, but finished 6th. Ryan Preece, 3rd straight week with the top 10 finish, and this time I made money on that. I put money down on him to get a top 10. He did just that. Now, his day was interesting because I might have been paying attention to him a little bit more. He was as low as 28th. I'm thinking, okay, I just wasted money. I just blew his good luck streak. No. He quietly worked his way through inside the top 20, then the top 15. And I mentioned all those yellows that kept happening in stage 3. A lot of those yellows were happening in the cars on the outside lanes of 1 and 2. So Ryan Preece, he kept restarting on the inside lane, and he just kept moving his way up through the field. Almost got caught up in one of them. I think it was the Ty Gibbs one. But he just kept restarting on the inside. Guys kept wrecking. He kept moving up. And eventually, he finished 7th. So another solid finish for Ryan Preece. Joey Logano, 8th. Briscoe, 9th. And Todd Gilliland with an impressive top 10 run. Deep in 25th and just methodically worked his way through, kind of like Ryan Preece. So good for him. And I'm looking now. Yeah, let's do that. So top 5 drivers, they all qualified inside the top 10. The top 10 finishers as a whole, 6 of them qualified inside the top 10. That just shows how much of a track position race it was. Some guys were able to drive their way through, like Ross. He started 17th. Ryan Preece started 21st, and then Todd Gillen all the way back at 25th. Now, this would have been a little more impressive if Ryan Blaney finished inside the top 5 or the top 10, but he didn't do that. He finished 11th. He was running inside the top 5 at one point. Really bad qualifying lap. Started back in 32nd, but he's good at Martinsville. He's won here before, so he knew he was going to work his way through. He got up there on pit strategy for staying out. Tire wear wasn't that big of an issue. Michael McDowell, 12th. Ty Gibbs, he spun out, but he came back. Finished 13th after getting dumped by Tyler Reddick, who just so happened to finish behind him in 14th. Very quiet day for Ty Dillon. He finished 15th, though. Solid finish for the colleague boys. Zane Smith was close for a top 10 finish at one point, but fell back to 16th. Kyle Busch, 17th. Austin Dillon, 18th. Hey, Carson Hocevar, you're down in 19th. Ricky Stenhouse, he had speeding penalties galore. He finished 20th, so recovered somewhat nicely. William Byron was the last car in the lead lap in 22nd. I have no clue what happened to him. I thought his car would come to life. It did not. He was barely inside the top 10 at one point in the race and just kept fading to the back. Chris Buescher mentioned him, thought he was going to have a top 10 day. Then he came up on Hocevar and kind of ruined his day there. He was caught up in another wreck. Now it says he finished 24th, but he originally finished 25th. That means the 24th place finisher is not there. And that 24th place finisher at the moment was Erik Jones. But he failed minimum weight in post-race tech, so his finish was DQ'd. That's just sad. How do you cheat and you're still 24th? Legacy Motor Club, we need to have a conversation. Brad Keselowski finished 26th again. There's a lot of people asking why Brad Keselowski isn't running well this season, and quite simply, I'll put it this way. I think he's sacrificing speed and everything out of his own car just to give to his other two cars to make them feel better because he got a win. A season ago, he showed speed last year. This year, not so much. Chris Buescher's been great. Mentioned Ryan Preece, third straight week with a top 10 finish. He's looking out for his drivers. I can respect that. Is that probably the answer? Not really, but does make me feel a little better about it. Alex Bowman, he finished 27th. Yeah, this was an odd one. He was inside the top 10 for a good portion of the race. He had to come back down pit road for some reason. And once he lost that track position, he just could not recover, and he finished 27th. Looking through other notables, mentioned Josh Berry with the battery issues. He finished the race 4 laps down in 32nd. Shane Van Gisbergen, 34th. 2 of his crew members are going to be on vacation for a couple of weeks from that loose wheel. Casey Mears returned to the Cup Series. 35th. Cool. Yeah, that was that for Cup. It was the most normal race out of the 3. The least chaotic. Same thing. Holy cow. How do I keep rambling on for a half hour? And I don't know how people listen to this, but yeah, thank you for listening. Next week we're going to Darlington. I'm pretty sure, I know it's Cup and Xfinity. Will the Truck Series go there as well? Oh, I'm dumb. Actually, no, I'm not dumb. Yeah, next week is Darlington for Cup and Xfinity. No trucks. That's not until Labor Day weekend for them. So just Cup and Xfinity for Darlington. Can't wait. It's going to be a fun one. I know Denny Hamlin's probably going to be in it. I think Ross Chastain's going to be in that Xfinity race as well. Probably we'll see Corey Hyman that since there's no truck race. Don't know what to expect. We'll leave it at that. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in, listening to me ramble for the 46th time on the Louisiana Divebomb podcast. I'll sign out, and I'll see you guys after the Lady in Black.